You need to hear this if you're a travel enthusiast. You know what they say, if you're tired of traveling, you're tired of life. And also, maybe you haven't shelled out for that fancy first-class upgrade. Am I right? But trust me, there's one place that'll make you feel truly alive. Whether you're crammed in coach or living it up in the big seats. Austria. This land of mountains, music, and more mountains is jam-packed with incredible cities to explore. And because I care about you fine folks wasting your precious vacation days, I've narrowed it down to the top 5 must-visits. So buckle up, maybe grab yourself a little Wiener Schnitzel. It's not actually from Vienna, but whatever. And get ready to explore Austria with me. First up, we're waltzing into Vienna, the capital of Austria, and let's be honest, the fanciest city this side of a royal wedding. We're talking palaces, operas, and enough history to make your head spin faster than a Strauss waltz. You'll be strolling through the Hofburg Palace feeling like royalty. Or at least like you could convince someone to let you borrow their crown for a quick selfie. And don't even get me started on the Schönbrunn Palace. It's got more rooms than I have jokes about Matt Damon, and that's saying something. Of course, no trip to Vienna is complete without a little dose of Mozart. I mean, the guy lived there, died there. For all we know, his ghost is still hanging around, composing a symphony about lost gloves or something. So keep your ears open and your sheet music handy. You never know who you might run into. Oh, and one last thing, pack your fanciest clothes. Because in Vienna, you gotta dress to impress. Or at least dress to not get mistaken for a street musician. No offense to street musicians, you guys are all right. Next up, we're hopping over to Salzburg, the city that's basically a real-life fairy tale. If fairy tales had a serious sweet tooth. This place is straight out of a storybook with charming cobblestone streets, colorful buildings, and more Mozart. Yes, apparently the guy got around. But Salzburg's biggest claim to fame is definitely its connection to the sound of music. You know, that movie your grandma made you watch 1,000,000 times? Yeah, that one. You can basically recreate the entire film here, from twirling in the Mirabelle Gardens to belting out Do Re Mi on the steps of the Felsenreitschule. Good luck pronouncing that one. Just, maybe try not to hit any high notes. I hear Julie Andrews set the bar pretty high. And by high, I mean ear-splittingly high. Chapter 3. Innsbruck, where the mountains are high and the skiers are occasionally upside down. Okay, adventure junkies. This one's for you, Innsbruck. Nestled in the heart of the Alps, this city is like a giant playground for anyone who loves fresh air, stunning scenery, and the occasional near-death experience. Just kidding, mostly. We're talking skiing, snowboarding, hiking, biking. If it involves being outside and slightly out of breath, Innsbruck's got it. And even if you're not exactly an Olympic athlete, like yours truly, the views alone are worth the trip. Just picture yourself sipping hot cocoa, gazing out at those snow-capped peaks, and maybe trying not to think about that time you face-planted on the bunny slope. Hey, it happens to the best of us, except for Shaun White. Shaun White, you're a machine. Chapter 4. Graz Strudel, style, and getting very, very lost. Now let's switch gears and head to Graz, Austria's second-largest city, and a place where modern style meets historical charm in the most delightful way. Imagine strolling through cobblestone streets lined with colorful Renaissance buildings, then stumbling upon some cutting-edge architecture that looks like it belongs in a sci-fi movie. That's Graz in a nutshell. Oh, and did I mention the strudel? Because Graz takes its pastries very, very seriously. We're talking flaky crusts, warm fruit fillings, and enough powdered sugar to satisfy your sweet tooth for days. Just be careful wandering around the old town after one too many slices. Those winding alleys can get confusing. I speak from experience. Let's just say I spent an hour trying to find my way back to the hotel and ended up making friends with a very confused pigeon. At Chapter 5. Linz robots, art, and trying to understand what the heck is going on last, but not least, we come to Linz, Austria's hidden gem, and a haven for all you art and technology buffs out there. This city is like a futuristic playground, with mind-bending museums, cutting-edge technology, and enough art installations to make your head spin. We're talking about the Ars Electronica Center, a museum dedicated to the fusion of art, technology, and society. It's basically like stepping into the future, or at least what people in the 1950s thought the future would look like. But be warned, some of the art here is a little out there. I'm talking sculptures made of old cell phones, paintings that look like a toddler got loose with finger paints, and installations that made me question the very fabric of reality. But hey, that's the beauty of art, right? It's supposed to make you think, or at least make you scratch your head and say, huh, I guess that's art. Chapter 6. Austria, pack your bags, and maybe a translator for the art. So there you have it, folks. My top 5 must-visit cities in Austria. From the historical grandeur of Vienna to the artistic energy of Linz, there's something for everyone in this charming country. Just remember to pack your walking shoes, your appetite for adventure, and maybe a phrase book or two. Those Austrian dialects can be tricky. If you enjoyed this whirlwind tour of Austria, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button for more travel shenanigans, and let me know in the comments which city you're most excited to visit. And until next time, happy travels. Or as they say in Austria, Google's frantically, Auf Wiedersehen.